What's up, everybody? Thank you for being so very, very patient. It's just me. It's only me. I'm just me. By myself. Alone. Who'd have thunk it? Welcome to the KotoKai Workbench number 125. Paul's on his way. Maybe Pabs, if he can get his computer put back together. Who knows? Maybe we'll see other people. Who the heck knows? I have no idea. That's all right. That's not why we're here. We're here because of me. No, we're here because of you. What the fuck am I talking about? But yeah, so welcome to the Workbench. I've been just a lot. I've been doing my best to work on the A10. It is it's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I don't have a lot of days to do work in, so that's just really frustrating right now. I've spent all that time at the beginning of the pandemic with just limitless hours and hours of just sitting and eating ramen and drinking beers and getting chubby at the workbench, and not getting a chubby, but getting chubby. Wholly different thing. And yeah, putting on some pounds, building some kick-ass models. It was a great time. I don't have that time anymore. I miss it. I'm not for nothing. No lies. I sincerely miss having endless hours to spend and toil away at building models. And my gosh, bros, what a thing. But anyways, that doesn't matter. Still, we persevere on. It's just an adjustment. I have continued on work on the A10. I haven't posted any pictures of the color work I've done, but I started laying down some color tones, as you can see, into the different panels. These are just really simple light washes. I use so you guys know that I use the butoxy ethanol thinner reducer from Createx, but I've been like talking to and listening to Model Paint Solutions, John Miller's stuff, Dr. Strangebrush, and his methods for thinning paint for doing different things. And so I've been kind of like applying the stuff that I have learned along the way with the stuff that he's been talking about, like material science wise. What is he? He's like a chemical engineer turned paint guy, really kick ass. But so I've been applying some of the tips that he suggests, and I started adding a retarder, which I have this bottle of Createx retarder right there. Really basic shit. This just slows down the dry time of paint since I'm using acrylics, and especially since it's getting drier. This is an important thing so that it cuts down on tip dry on your paint, and it allows the paint itself to lay itself out a little bit smoother. When we're using our Mr. Colors, our primers, Mr. Primers, and our top coats and whatever, or anything that you're using like a leveling thinner and shit with, that stuff will lay itself flat. Oh, sorry. That stuff will lay itself flat, which is amazing, and I love it. But acrylic doesn't exactly do that. It will pile, it will pool, it will like give you ridges and stuff. So adding that retarder allows the paint to go down a little bit smoother. And I noticed it exactly. It takes a little bit longer for it to dry, hence the name. But it comes out with a great smooth finish. I did the black paint overcoat on the Thunderbolt here with that. And it was like, what the fuck is going on with the paint? Because it was still like kind of shiny and shit, and I'm used to the acrylic really kicking off pretty quickly, and I just had to check myself, step back for a second, and let it dry. 15 minutes later, after like not paying attention to it, I look over, beautiful, smooth matte finish, nice and clean. Everything looked great. It was amazing, and I was like, all right, there we go. I need to calm the fuck down. But yeah, so that's what I did was I used that a mixture of those two in small proportion with my thinner. It's like 10% flow improver, 5% retarder to the thinner's volume. And then when it came to applying the paint, I was using literally like per thinner to thinner mixture, like thinner to paint, like 20% paint, 80% thinner mixture. So very fucking thin. That posed a little bit of a problem, because the paint that I use to do the base tones to get that lightening to it, the highlighting, is this same made by Createx. This My favorite, Old Bone White by Bloodlines, Cretex Bloodlines by Tim Core. There it is, Old Bone White. You can see it slightly. But yeah, I love that. It's my like go-to white for everything. It's actually not quite white. It's like a little off. And but that is more of an illustrative color, and it literally takes like 72 hours to fully cure when you put it down. So what I was running into, because I didn't give it that amount of time, plus two, I'm using a really thin or heavy wash or like a really thin coat to make it super transparent, is that I was activating the paint below. So I ended up needing to go through, give like a dust of color to it, like you would do if you were doing like a clear coat, or even when you're doing your primer, you should add a layer, like spray a layer of like a light layer of primer, let it kick off for like 30 or 40 seconds, and then go in and put your wet coat down, because that gives it something to stick to. As long as everything's smooth, you shouldn't run into a whole lot of issues. But yeah, so what I was doing was I would have to go through, add a little bit of a light layer down, let that kind of like kick a little bit to give me something to grab onto again, and then add like in like almost in spurts, add the colors to it so that I didn't like just wash it away. It will just like steamroll it and wash it away. It also makes it very fragile, so you can't like touch it again for a while. But yeah, so I added a bunch of different colors. I was originally only talking about doing like a green and a purple or some shades therein. And I ended up doing like green, purple, two different shades of like yellow and orange, a red, a blue, and yeah, the two greens. Yeah. And it came out pretty good. I like the way that it looks. I'm just going to not touch it. Grab something that I can use to touch it with. All right, here we go. There you can see the tone, some of the tones, and I just kind of like picked it sort of randomly to lay the color in. And I made these essentially I made like frisket, and then up here on the entrance, it helps to like give it a little bit more depth, right? Looks pretty neat. It's interesting. It almost has like a stained glass or like an art house feel to it. Or like the it's not Art Deco, is it? From the 80s. That's definitely not Keith Haring. He's all weird little people. But just like the blocks, and the primary colors being all laid out. But yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool. And I'm going to lay down like my tones over that. Pretty stoked. Feeling pretty good about it. How's everybody tonight out there in the land? I just talked about my shit for like 8 minutes straight. It's like the whole show, 8 minutes. Surprise. Keep looking back over my shoulder, and my lighter is right here. I made this fabulous Zeta Gundam lighter. Stay true to your shit. If you guys didn't check out the show from last Tuesday, which I suppose a lot of people that are participating in the chat right now already have, but if you're watching this in the future and you haven't watched the Robo Dojo from earlier in this week, I think it's in the 70s somewhere, 70, 71. But yeah, Mr. Jeff Longman stopped in and joined us and shared with some of his work, his 3D modeling work for his current project, and then some of the cool other Star Wars and amazing projects that he's been working on in the past. Pretty cool. I just want to say another little shout out to Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for stopping through. Appreciate you, man. And Patty Cakes has been finding my old videos online through the algorithm. They've just been like popping up, so you get to see like when I was filming my videos on my phone and editing them on my phone, and yeah, super duper high quality. All those early ones, like the first panel lining ones, where I was using just the Tamiya Scriber 2 and like carbide scribes and like a X-Acto knife or something, like the back of a number 11 or something. Like pretty funny. But hey man, you have to start somewhere, and it worked. And I feel like the result for the project worked out pretty good. So, it's cool. Jay Santos says, that all sounds cool, but have you seen Hit Monkey on Hulu? No. Dymo tape. Yeah, the Dymo tape. Dymo tape, yeah. I still use Dymo tape. It's great. I still have that same 3-pack from that video. I'm on roll 2 now of the 3. So yeah, I don't do a shitload of scribing. But there's a lot of different things out now, especially like I know Colin Craig's not here right now, but Colin Craig has a whole line of like scribing jigs that he 3D prints that are fucking great. I have some, and I haven't used them because I put the Sentinel on the back burner, and that's really it, because they're going to be all over the Sentinel. I'm stoked. What was that noise? Hang on a second. It's getting windy here on Jersey, so my internet might go doo-doo, and who knows. So, but it's getting windy outside. I need to make sure something doesn't fall down on the deck. Cool. Just stuff falling over on the deck from the wind. Some folding chairs. No big deal. Hey, of course, Doku. Yeah, super windy, I bet. I don't wonder how it is up there, up north, versus us down here, like a little farther south and on the shore. Talk amongst yourselves. What do we got? Oh, Dymo tape. Never heard of Dymo tape. Oh, right. Yeah. So, Dymo tape, pretty cool. It's for label makers, right? This is like sticky pack, really, really thick tape made for like label makers, and it works okay. I used it to do all of my back scribing on the A10, and it was more than adequate for the job. It did run into a couple of issues where my scribes were so sharp they were cutting the tape. So like I would like be scribing along and it would like jump up and be on the tape. It wouldn't cut through the tape to like the surface, but it would like leave a jag or a jog in the smooth surface. So I have to replace the tape or flip it around or whatever. Remind people for Saturday, Chris. What's going on Saturday, Chris? Saturday is next episode of KotoKai Builds. We are doing the winner announcements for the KotoKai Build Off, as well as doing some submission critiquing and feedback and all that whole jazz. Come on through. It's going to be a little bit of a smaller crew, but yeah, definitely an important episode to check out for KotoKai Builds on Chris Pab's channel, R3D5UNZ, old REDNUTZ, good old Chris Pabs, red nuts. Yeah, the shirt's nice, right? This is one I haven't worn one of the short sleeves button downs for a minute. I've been rocking those flannels. It's good to have a little bit of like sunshine, you know. I feel like I was feeling a little bit dim, you know. It's like a little dark in here, you know. It's kind of nighttime now. It's the time change and everything, and the sun's going down. Sun's getting real low, but I got this dope like you can barely see it. Looks kind of like a dick, but that's not what it is. I assure you, it is definitely a motherfucking X-Wing that I got at Comic-Con. Nice little shirt. That sucks, Chris. You're in Texas. It's not supposed to. I mean, it gets cold in the desert at night, but dude, I wouldn't get crazy. Oh, Jeff's taking off? Oh, good night, Jeff. I missed that. I had to read the chat to find out. Oh, it's kind of tired. All right, cool. It's not checking out. That's legit. Don't stress it, brother. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's easy to Brian after dark. That's real funny. It's really easy to overwork yourself, being a workaholic as I am. Looks like a shirt a guy who lives next to the beach would wear. What do you fucking know? I live next to the beach. My house looks like a house from a guy that lives next to the beach would live in too, because it's a house next to the beach. I'll respect, Doku, respect. Thank you for stopping in anyways. I appreciate you. Give me a little bit of Twitch traffic. I'm on like some of these Discords for scale modeling. Not just like, sorry guys, not just like Gundam stuff and like mechas and stuff like that, but like every kind of scale modeling. And their links to the Twitch just don't really work. I don't ever get like the boost or the bump. What up, Travis Chaos and Mr. Julius Dembski? I am currently flying solo. I think Paul is potentially en route. He's got some stuff going on. You know, life is busy for people. Pabs' computer is like dismantled. Julio is still 1,000 points of light on his way back from California. I bet Manny's working. and Z and Kyle are both like tending to, you know, family, because family is you know, is where it is. There were about 5 builders were streaming just now. Well, there you go. I've been streaming on this time at this night for 125 episodes. So it's cool. And I don't, you know what? And it's like, it's funny because some people get all bent out of shape over like stream stuff, and like trying to have like a bazillion teen people watching them all the fucking time, and like all this crazy content and doing like crazy things. It's just ridiculous. I like to build cool fucking models, and I like to talk to you guys about it too. And then like, you know, my friends and fellow builders that join us here on the show too. That's really what it's just like, a hangout and have a good time. That's what it's always been. I used to co-host a show on here on YouTube. Whoa, Carl's levitating goalie zero. Here on YouTube on Gundam, what is it? Gundam Builders NYC, New Jersey. I've talked about this a few times, but I used to host the show, and that's where I met Manny and Julio and them initially. But I used to host it down at a hobby shop in Sunset Park called Young Hobby Shop, and they're awesome. Kevin is great. They're not there anymore because everything costs us $1,000 a foot to fucking rent in New York. But yeah, so that's when I started doing like the talk show stuff and just talking about modeling and hanging out and laughing and having some drinks and just like, you know, clowning around, being a fun nerd. I love being a fun nerd. You guys too, right? That's why come be fun nerds with me. Oh, hey, Jay Santos, thank you. He says, loving to see the progress pics of that warthog. Yeah, man. It was a lot of front end, but now that it's getting towards the back end, it feels good to be able to continue to work on it. The cockpit came together like super fast, and it looks really, really crisp. That was like so nice. I was stressing because the measurement was like kind of a slog to get together on the bits and bobs. But anyway, yeah, so hosting that show meant that I had to, because I had the computer and the cameras and the mic and all that stuff. So what I was doing was I was breaking down my computer setup, my laptop setup with my cameras and booms and microphone and all that shit, and packing it up into bags after like an 8-hour shift at work, pack that stuff up and then head down to there and then hang out there until, actually, no, it was a Friday. It was, I think we did on Friday. So it wasn't that bad. I got out at noon, but regardless, yeah, long slog down, hang out there, drink like a 6-pack and then like, and then come all the way back home and then do the stuff. I felt like I was losing a lot of time because I was losing like, you know, 6 or 8 hours. And then we would go and do other events like that. We would host I've talked about this too. We would host like the 4-wheel Tamiya races with like the inline track races. Yeah, that shit was awesome. It was great fun, but at the same time, it's a huge time sink. And I really like to spend time, like I started out talking about at the bench, how I miss spending the time at the bench. So that's why I started doing this particular stream, where I wanted to just like fucking hang out and like snap up some kits or like work on a custom or talk paint or talk a lot of books. I love talking about books. And I think that was like, you know, the big switch over, and it helped me be happy with myself and what I was doing, because I wasn't like, you know, compromising. It's rough. I mean, it's easy to compromise yourself for a good cause, but it's hard to not over compromise. So you gotta like think about yourself. Yes, we do need to do a stream of all of everybody hanging out, but it needs to be more organized. That was so like late and disorganized and disheveled. There was no way to really like set it up. And to be honest with you, that's like one where it can't be like a stream. It's one where I'm gonna have to like record multiple feeds and then mix them down, because there was so many people in the crib. It was like, it was Manny, Julio, you, I can't remember your man's name, Colleen and myself, and that was just like, the place was just packed. So like one camera and all that, you're just a bunch of tiny little people. It looked like the Last Supper from paintings, and that's crazy. Oh yeah, and then the release, thank you, Pebs. And we're releasing episode 9 of Built Sideways podcast tomorrow, which is hype. That's gonna be fun. It is, the topic is, oh fuck. I recorded it, but I don't remember it. Recorded it 2 weeks ago, so I don't feel bad. So I don't feel bad. I don't remember. Pabs will say if he can remember. I'm sure he does because he fucking is on top of that shit. I'm terrible. Hold up, Chris Collins says that Birdie's getting groomed tomorrow. I'll have pics up. She's gonna be fancy. So Birdie is Chris's like full size poodle. She's adorable, and it'll be awesome. Event. That's right. Event of the cemetery. The fuck, Brian. Events of the century, aka like hobby shows and IPMS and all that jazz, and then hermit versus celebrity in regards to what's your role? What do you want to be? Do you need to be you want to be a hermit? You want to be what do you want to be, a celebrity? You want to try and be in that limelight, or you want to just be the old wizard in the hills? It'd be both. I don't know. Good shit. That drops I think it drops tonight, midnight central, something like that. Patty cakes. Why us make this sad face? Pop this emoji. Bam. Maybe. Thinking face. Oh, it's this face. Gotcha. I mistook it. It's hard to see, so I like leaned way in with my old man eyes. At least I didn't get out the optivisors. Could have. Not for nothing, I was using those, my magnifiers. I don't have like the fancy optivisors like Tim has. I don't have like the crazy like in the fucking rims adjustment like Tex and Mike Wine have, but I have these. You guys have seen these. They're all over the grams and the whatever the advertisements. But I have like this style right here. And mine are defectos. I don't fucking know what it says. Doesn't matter. I had another brand before. They were identical, but they had a different little name screen printed onto it. Essentially, it's just an LED and adjustable, and then these guys pop out and pop in. They can be a little bit loose. That's why this one is both wrapped in tape, and on the bottom you can see it hit the ground real hard and had some chips taken out of it, but it didn't affect it at all in regards to its quality. And yeah, these are great. I use these for placing decals because of specificity and reading that shit, because Tim's decals are very tiny, but they're still super legible. But I also use them on this project to make sure that I could get into all the spots and that I was getting close to the panel lines, the raised panel lines and the recessed panel lines, because I left some of the raised panel lines on the engines. And to make sure that I can get close to everything without going too far. It's important. Me old man now. I already have glasses. They're actually not that bad. Thanks, Chris. What's up, Michael Dawson? You're not too late. I started pretty late, and it's just me. Doing good, man. I think everybody else is doing pretty decent. Yeah, patty cakes for real. They do super help for the tiny pieces, and then just like, because I don't even fuck with small kits. Like, I built the Messer, but like I'm not much of a high grade, real grade builder. I got a good collection of real grades because they're cool, but I'm not in like a rush to try and build them. Says this guy right here who has like 500 pieces of tracks to put together for this fucking leopard. Anyway, but yeah, so they definitely help out for that. And get yourself a good set of tweezers too, like a multi-set. They're cheap. You can get them on Amazon, obviously. I don't remember what brand I have. They say Vastar, and I got like Vastar, King of the Jungle. No, I got those in a whole like zipper set. It was, I'll just count them. I was gonna guesstimate, but I have them right here. There's no reason to guesstimate. I can tell you the reality of the situation. I got So there are 3 sets that are in the right or in the bin there, in the organizer, and then this is the rest of them. So that's what 3, 6, 9, 12, 12, and then a little like a cleaner tool. This is like a little, almost like a whack carving tool, but for just like cleaning scraping the shit off. And you get like all sorts of crazy different kinds of tweezers. This one's got like, these ones are like little fucking hook tweezers, right? Wild. And there's like cool flat bladed ones, and then like pointy ones, and curvy ones, and like skinny ones, and fat ones, and yeah. So I think it was like $15 on Amazon pre-pandemic. So you can get them for heckin' cheap. Tell your moms to buy that shit and put it in your stocking for Christmas or some shit. If you got that situation going on, tell your girl, or your boy, or your dog, because your dog could buy stuff for you too, right? My dog used to buy stuff for me all the time. He's amazing. Let's see. Yes, for the tiny details, lens is definitely thick. Chris says he doesn't need magnification yet. Just need to get new glasses. Oh yeah, you definitely get your script checked out for sure. My eyes haven't changed. I just was at the eye doctor recently, so. John Lynn concurs. Which ones are the eyebrow ones? Dude, I don't know. I trim because I grow, believe it or not, I grow wizard eyebrows. So I just have to I have like a comb and a fucking pair of small shears. And I just take the comb in my eyebrow and I go, boop, and it makes all the hair go straight up in the air. And you can see which ones are like wrong, the wrong long. And trim those out. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Definitely go get your shit checked out. You're a wizard, brain. Thanks, Hagrid. Been procrastinating on working on these bombs, guys. Like a shitload. I sit here and I look at them and just not excited. It's a lot of bombs. It's like 40 bombs. It's like a shitload. It's probably 40. No, it's like 22. But still, it feels like 40 bombs. That's why they say do the weapons first, right? Have you ever heard that? Like, don't leave your weapons and like that little fiddly shit until the very end, because by the time you work through all the stuff that's like exciting and dynamic that goes along with the rest of the model, whether the model is a robot or a car or an airplane or a submarine, it doesn't fucking matter. But then when you get down to those like little minutiae things, like can be a bit extra, especially when it comes to like doing Gundams. And then you're like, all right, now I gotta like paint and detail this bazooka and rifle, and you're just like, oh, no, you're but part of the game, man. I feel like we all feel your pain. It's like a support group. Let's see. Oh, nice. Master Grade Rick Dom. Whoop whoop. Nice. Oh, that's fucking sick, bro. Buy your own presents. It's a true story. This is a true story. Oh, hey, Chaotic Team Type, what's up? The Manscaper buzz cutter for my brows. Nice. Gets out the hedge trimmers. I get out the Husqvarna weed whacker, but I'm getting real dexterous with my toes. Oh, okay, cool. At least the audio is good. Yeah, I can get F. The video can get F. No, and it's storming outside right now, so it makes it dually doo-doo. And with you is Paul. What's up, man? Welcome. How you doing, bud?
What's going on? Good.
Wow, that's too small. Look at this. I'm the original unit, and Paul is the resin upgrade.
What's going on, man? Just got home at like 9:15.
Wow. Welcome.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. Tired. I might have to switch this Coke Zero for a drink.
Do it. Do it.
What's up, everybody?
I have Jameson in Coke Zero.
I like it.
'Tis the season.
Big JMO fan.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 'tis the season, man. We're gonna have some holiday cheer going around next week with Thanksgiving coming through.
Yeah.
Go get me
a bumbo. What's a bumbo?
a bamboo. Is it bumbo or bamboo?
Bumbo?
Yeah, it was what I was talking about right here. Yeah, bamboo. It just probably autocorrected or something. Yeah, bamboo rum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is fucking delicious rum.
What's a bumbo?
Yeah, there you go. She corrected it. Yeah, there you go. Dude, I just checked. Wait, I just checked Mercari like 10 times a day. You will eventually find a good deal that you can't pass up. Oh yeah, definitely. That must be like one of those sites. I don't know.
What are they looking for? What you looking for?
We were talking about buying presents for yourself from your animals. Like my dog has bought me had bought me a bunch of cool stuff back in the day. Or like, yeah, the cats will buy Colleen and I amazing presents from me, you know. Like
I buy myself many presents.
Yeah, you know. It's one thing. But it's like, you know, around the holidays, it's like I get into that, you know, you get into that like season, like festivity shit. And I'm a super planner. So I buy most of my shit early in the season, in the year, like throughout the year. I start holiday shopping throughout the year. If I see something cool, I'll snag it, scroll it away, keep adding to the pile. And then like, even when we just dress the tree, like we dress the tree right after Thanksgiving, pull it out, set it up, dress the shit. Then I'll like wrap a bunch of presents and throw them under the tree. And it's like, looks like fucking Christmas, like for weeks. But then Colleen's like, "Oh, why do you fucking do that?" Like, I do it at the end, and I'm like, "All right, I don't."
Yeah, we've always done like historically, not even like me and Sylvia or Sylvia and I, but my whole family. Like the day after Thanksgiving, you know, Black Friday, my mom went shopping, and my dad and I put up Christmas lights and Christmas tree, and we carried that tradition on to here, where Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, it's time to put shit up.
Yeah, same deal, man. Black Friday, we don't go shopping. We just like hang around and like drink and put up the Christmas decorations. It's fucking awesome. I love
Sylvia's always gone Black Friday. I heard my mom go every year as like I don't know, I think it's more of like a bonding thing than it is a shopping thing. But they go, you know, like 4:00 in the morning or some ungodly hour. But they're done usually by like noon. Like noon,
that's madness.
They love it, so I don't. It's their thing. She never makes me go. She never even asked me to go.
So this must be like Mercari, right? And this is where Patty Cake says, "Dude, a lady was selling all of her kids' kits the other day." Oh fuck, that's rough.
I certainly don't need to be buying any model kits.
Sure about that? It depends. See, the thing is, you only build mecha. So
no, I have like from here.
Oh no, you have
here
right.
is
you got like
non-mecha.
That's right. You just started. You got the F1s
kits. Yep.
Yeah. Do you have a motorcycle yet?
1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't know if I'm into that.
I don't know. I might do like an old Yamaha.
I have a plane. Like, I have Honda. I mean, I guess you would consider
the plane's from me. I know.
I guess you would consider Macross mecha, but I like the Macross kit that I have. I will never turn it into a mecha. Like I love the plane form. I only bought it to look like a plane.
Is it one of the new ones? Is it one of the
the reverse wing, like YF.
Yeah, YF21 style. Yeah,
YF 47.
Yeah. Right.
Man.
Yeah, it's just I'm old lacrosse guy, so like Yeah, I'm sure that at that point they're at the 40s, but I remember when I was a kid, it was a YF-19.
Back in my day.
Yeah, I mean, I got a slew of shit. So, I've been having fun, like even like looking at and thinking about building the Nazca Valley of the Wind, and then the Flapter, like the glider from Nazca, and then the Flapter. That stuff is intriguing to me, not just in the fact that it's a smaller kit, like in that it doesn't have a shitload of parts and it's still fairly detailed, and it would be a fun little build up. It's like a weekend build. You could put it together, paint it up and everything in a whole fucking weekend without killing yourself. It's nothing like this stuff that I've been working on. Thinking about that. Oh yeah, I got some Macross kits. I
think I just have that one. I'm not watched many Macross or Robotech.
Check out.
I watched like.
Do you remember Love, or check out Macross Plus? Macross Plus is definitely both.
Yeah, I've heard Plus and Delta. I've heard is really good as well. That's like I think that's the newest one, which is only a couple of years old. But I don't know. I just haven't yet. I don't.
Like for old stuff, that's good. Watch Do You Remember Love? Like that's.
I tried to watch the original Macross, and I got like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I was like, "This isn't good."
It's just Minmay sucks, and then they're running through a constantly changing form ship. Like they're just trying to get through the Macross City or whatever as it's like transforming. It sucks so much.
Plus is playing in theaters next month. Get tickets.
Yes. I might not do that because of a bunch of extenuating circumstances, but I was looking at it, and it's right here. It's in Hazlitt. I can go check it out. It's like 7:00 on a Tuesday, which is like 2 hours before we stream.
Macross or Macross? I don't know.
Macross. Yeah, Macross. Or not Macross.
Mac Ross. I like Mac Ross better.
Mac Ross. It's like that shit that I sent to the back room the other day. I don't know if you guys watched or looked at it. It was like a screen grab that I had. It was like I'll actually just look it up because it's fucking hilarious, and I'll go through it. It was, come on now, suck it now. Here it is. In the 90s, there's a baseball video game where a Japanese game designer had to make up a bunch of American names. So some of the names like Slave McDickle, Onson Sweemy, so ONSONSWEEMEY,
like Onson, like a
ONSON, Onson,
ONSON,
yeah,
oh,
Onson, yep, Daryl Arkadeld, Anatoly Smorin, Ray McSriff, Glenn Allen Mixon,
Glenn Allen's okay.
Mario McRolwain, MCRLWAIN.
How long ago was this? This was
the 90s. This was the 90s.
Like that seems such like they put it in a computer, like it auto generated a name, and they're like, yeah, sure, why not?
Raul, right? Raul sounds okay. RAUL, Raul, like normal. Chamgerlain, 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 Chamgerlain. Okay. This could be a name. Yeah,
that fun.
Kevin.
How about Evan G. Lyon?
Bobson Dognut.
I like that one.
Tony Smerick. Smehrik. Yeah, Smerick. Good lord, dude. Whew. That's just the first line. I'm not going to go through them all, but they're insane.
Evan G. Lyon.
Dwight Rorschach. Dean Wazery. Mike Truck. Yeah, TRUK. Dwight.
Man,
yeah.
So
Dwight.
I will say, like not having a whole lot of memories of when I was a 5-year-old, or really before like my teenage years, I'll say. my son is in kindergarten and he comes home with homework, right? And a
Right.
lot of it's English homework, like writing and reading and stuff like that. And trying to teach the English language is very fucking complicated because, like, you know, he's spelling something and I'm like, all right, like phonetically sound it out, right? And he's like, truck, and you know, he TRUC, and he stops and he's like, truck, and I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong, okay? You're not wrong. The thing is, we put a K on the end of that. And don't ask why, because no one knows. Or like, you know, that an E at the end of a word completely, you know, like SAL is Sal, but then you put an E at the end and it's sale, and it's not like, yeah, it's not like Sally.
True. Or yeah, Sally. Or Sally. Yeah, Sally at all, because that'd be SALLY.
Yeah, right.
Or SALIE.
Right. Or just trying to explain those variations. I couldn't tell you, Babs. I don't. So like I've taken a few other languages in my life. I've taken Spanish, French, German, and generally there's a couple exceptions in Spanish, but for the most part, like their rules are their rules. There's not a whole lot of changes to them. You know, like if the E always makes the E sound.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's anyway, it's just interesting. So I can get why names were hard for someone in Japanese. They were like, what?
Oh yeah, no, they're insane. Yeah. And Chaotic New Type says that it is from a game called Fighting Baseball. Might be Fighting Baseball, but yeah,
I watch a lot of anime, and usually in subtitles. And what I've found really interesting about Japanese is it's like they have like half the vocabulary that we do. And then it makes me feel like whoever invented English was pretty stupid, because we use like 8 words to describe the same thing. Like, you know, you have like good, great, awesome, like all these words to just say it's good. Like, if you ask me, hey, Paul, how's that Coke Zero? And I say it's great, or it's good, or it's fine, or they all like.
I mean, those are all they're quantifiers, aren't they? Right? They're quantifiers.
Right.
So like fine isn't as good, isn't nearly as prevalent as good, as great is more so even than good. So if you were to say like, how's that Coke Zero? He'd be like, fine. Be like, oh, and then your voice is too, you know. But
if I just say it's good or I say it's great, like ultimately, I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah. Right.
You know, we just have multiple words.
Good though. You could be like, yo, this Coke Zero is good. You can be like, how's the Coke Zero, Paul? Good.
Right.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe we're just very expressive about our emotions, and other, especially like I would say probably Asian languages are not.
Yeah, you don't get that as much, I don't think.
But it's interesting to me. Like you always hear like baka in Japanese, you know, it's idiot, but like when you're reading like subtitles, I guess contextually, like it could mean idiot or dummy or stupid or whatever, and you're like, that's a perfect example. Like ultimately I'm saying the same thing, whether I call you stupid or an idiot or dumb, like I'm saying the same thing. They may mean more or less severe to you, but they just have one word to say all of those things.
Oh, dude, I know. And that's the weird, yeah, again, talk about conditionals. Like, I say a lot of shit.
It's all words, man.
In the past, when working with people, I would like, you know, very improperly say to them, like, what are you, stupid? Like, which is just not the right thing to say to somebody, especially if you're in a manager position. But I've known these muckers for so long, and they know the shit that I've taught them, and they don't do it or whatever. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Like, what the fuck? That is not the right way to deal with things. Don't do that. Rule of thumb.
Unless they're big stupid.
I mean, yeah. All right, do it. Just be smart about it. Don't be stupid about it.
Don't do it in front of HR.
Hey, no, it depends. Like, oh shit. Very good. Pabs is trying to get us to go to Google Translator to translate. Are you going down in Filipino?
Are you going down? Pabs, what's the actual language called? Starts with a T. It's in my front brain, and I just can't spit it out right now.
I have
it's not Filipino though, if I remember right.
I have no clue what it is. Patty Cakes was watching old Seed episodes on YouTube, and it has those vintage Bandai vintage commercials.
Tagalog. I'm sure I'm butchering the
Tagalog.
Yeah.
Tagalog.
So are you going down is I'm gonna say this really slow because it's kind of a tongue twister. Ba 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 ka ba.
Oh, ba 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 ka ba.
Yeah. Yes, there's ba 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 is one word. Ba ba ba, ka, separate word. Ba. Ba 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 ka ba.
Wild.
What? Why? What does that mean?
Well, it's like there, you know, like how many there's like there, like there.
Yeah, there's like over there.
There with their, you know, shit or whatever, you know.
That's a wild one. Welcome to the Filipino language. Is there any other? Words are hard. Is it spoken in? Like, is based in Latin, or is it?
Definitely not based in Latin.
Based in syllables, like other Asian languages.
Right.
Ba 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 ka ba. Ba wheat grana wheat mini bomb.
Hey, ba wheat grana wheat mini bomb.
2, 2, and 2. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And then there's also. So it could be to or also. Same thing.
Just get Colleen in here to start breaking down all the weirdness of the English language.
My niece is half Filipino, and my brother wants her to learn. He said it's very hard to try to understand as an outsider. Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, ba 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 ka ba. Are you going?
Well, no, I'm going to say
down.
No.
Even are you going? Just are you going is pupunta kaba. Are we going down? Ba 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 ba.
Ba 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 ba.
Ba 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 ba. That is super difficult. It's like you're making up words. Ba 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 ba.
But that makes sense.
I mean, as long as it always follows the same rules, like I guess, you know.
True.
Not to say it's easy to learn, but
that's right.
You know.
That is right. That is why my cousin used to like. He was crazy. Or he still is crazy. I think he's still alive. He used to like. He taught himself Japanese, so he would like. If he was getting bored or felt like bored by a conversation, he would start like conjugating Japanese verbs and shit under his breath while he's having a conversation with you. So you'd be talking about something, and then someone would start like in a group even setting. He would like say something or whatever, and then someone would say something, and someone else would move on to say something else or add another thought to it, and he would just start like. He would just like under his breath, just start like conjugating kanji, Japanese. Pretty interesting. Hey, but the guy introduced me to macross when I was like 4, so I can't be out.
I'm sorry. Is that Mac Ross?
Macross.
Mac Ross?
That's what I call it karaoke. I don't call it karaoke.
Modern English is weird because it's an orgy of which nobody can figure out who's gonna finish. Yeah. Yeah. It's all words, man.
Truth. Then you have German.
Yeah, I took German for like 2 years. I don't remember a whole lot of it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Just the pronunciation's kind of hard. Like as a native English speaker, they make some noises that are not natural.
True, and there's a whole lot of letters to not say a whole lot of stuff.
It's like Russian is kind of the same way. Like I don't know if the language is that hard, but it's just hard on the English tongue, hard on the American tongue. I'll say that.
Yeah, we're definitely made to like we're designed like the language is designed to be very forward, like very nasal, very front of the mouth, and some of those other things are like middle back.
I had a friend when I was quite young, like middle school maybe, and he spoke Finnish, and that is like one of the hardest fucking languages. It didn't sound like anything I could put together.
Night, Doku. Have a good one. Never learned Finnish, and I really haven't heard much of it. I guess a little bit.
Not a common language.
I watched a couple of these guys making log cabins on the YouTubes.
Bunch of Finns.
Because one of them is one's a Finn and one's a Slav, I think. But and then there's another one. It's a Canadian too. How about that? Everybody's just like up above, definitely well above the 35th parallel. Way above the Tropic of Capricorn. He's staying here. had to throw a little of that in there. Pettycake says his ex-sister-in-law was Finnish, and she and
Finnish and her.
Oh yeah,
I think he meant to say mom.
Guy.
Mom spoke it. Best baked goods I've ever had. Sure, yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Yeah, like my my relatives, like my blood relatives or whatever, growing up that were still like Czechoslovakian and German and shit, like fucking make the best fucking pastries, the best food. Hell yeah, man. I'm lucky that I got like my grandmother's green thumb. It's one of the like natural skills I have is like houseplants. Lucky. I was like, no. A lot of my friends are like, yeah, black thumb. I'm like, man, my whole arm is green.
I have a gray thumb. Concrete.
Oh right, Jay Santos, totally. I bet. Yeah, like where my father's side, my biological father's side, comes from a little island off the northern coast of Germany on the Black Sea. So we're not exactly Viking, but we're not mainlanders.
Not mainlanders.
Nope. Pattycake says it's hard to keep plants alive inside. I'm remarkably good at it.
Yes, I don't know, a couple of years ago I wanted a bonsai tree, and
bonsai are hard.
Yeah, I bought one that was like designed to be inside, and like I actually tried, man. Like it had directions that came with it about putting it in the window for a certain amount of hours a day to get sun, and how to water it, and I followed that shit to a T. It still died. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I have a pretty solid book on bonsai, because I'm like I said, I'm a plant guy, and I haven't read all of it, but it is a very rich culture, bonsai, and the like art of it is super duper intense. I've killed some bonsai too, as in my youth, just like not having a fucking clue what it went into. That's why I got the book. Because I was like, I'm gonna get this book and I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna have bonsai. And I got the book and I started to read the book and I was like, I am not gonna be able to invest the time that needs for me to do bonsai because like it's like takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of like knowledge and yeah, you have to have a good plan. You have to know exactly what you want to do. That was a big thing too. I'd be like, I don't know where would I start, what I want to do. So I'm lucky now I have a yard and I can do normal sized landscaping in it. So that's what I do.
Forget your mini tree.
Yeah. I found some actually when I was clearing out because I'm gonna build a shed in the back, a new shed that's like people size, not like hobbit size like the other one is. And where
are Pabs and Tim gonna stay when they visit?
They sleep in the crawl space. Just their size.
Sorry.
Man, that's some claustrophobic shit for me. Though I want to get down there and dig some of that out because it is too tight for my big ass to be down there. Anyway, yeah. So I was clearing out in the backyard, and in the corner I found a couple of what are they? They're not hibiscus. Are they hibiscus? They might be hibiscus. Yeah, hibiscus bushes that were like trimmed way down. My soon-to-be brother-in-law
with like a yellow stick coming out.
Yeah.
They're hallucinogens. The flower.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't know if like in people they work, but like so in South Florida we have a lot of iguanas, and the iguanas eat them and they like trip out.
Awesome. They just make flowers. But anyway, so there was like a couple of bushes that had been like cut down almost to the ground, but had growing shoots, like new growing shoots that came up this season. Because last year, when my soon-to-be brother-in-law and I were in the backyard doing the big major clean out to like get rid of the old garden overgrowth and everything that had been built up back there for a number of years. Like he just went through and just like clear cut everything down. And they sprung, luckily they sprung shoots back up and I could recognize what they were from the leaves. And so I unearthed them and transplanted them in a more apt location on the fence line on the other side of the house, just so that we can still enjoy them. And they didn't go to the wastage because I'm going to build a building over there. So, but yeah, that was nice. It was like impromptu gardening in like the middle of the like. It was late. It was like twilight when I would finally decided like I'm just going to replant these things. Fuck. Whatever.
I don't have much landscaping anymore.
Yeah. Well, you're in an entirely different environment. So.
Yeah, the people who owned the house before me, they had like an interesting definition of landscaping. They would just planted random shit in random places with no rhyme or reason, and then didn't take care of it. So we had like a bougainvillea tree, which is a really pretty like flowering tree, but it has thorns.
Oh fuck!
So right, and you typically want it to like bush in like a ball, and you keep it trim. Well, they let it go crazy, so it just had like wild. Branches coming out, and I had to get rid of it because when we moved in, my son was like 2, and I was like, yeah, that's a thorn to the eye waiting to happen. So
yeah, that's a no.
That's a no. Yeah, we got rid of a hibiscus tree or bush or whatever. Well, yeah, tomatoes haven't produced at all. I would like to have like a vegetable garden, small, very small, but
sure.
I think I'll do like if I ever were to do it, it would probably be like more of a planter style than in the ground style.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, container garden's great. Absolutely easy to control, honestly, 100%, especially if you're doing like, even if you want to go like, what's it called? Hegelculture? You could do something like that too, where in the bottom of your planter, you bury some like natural stuff like wood and other like leafy stuff. And then you and then you and then on top of the wood and the different branching and stuff that you put in there, then you pile like your dirt and stuff on top of that, and then you plant plants into that, and then what that does is it breeds like biodiversity, and then the plants will grow down through, and then bugs will get in there, and then they will eat up all the stuff, and it's like perfect for that, and it creates like really verdant soil. It's another way to also like passively feed plants for generations if you do it properly. But I mean, or you can just fill in full soil.
Yeah, no. I once the backyard is done, because they're about to rip it to shit, I'm gonna look into some different options, but for right now,
Cool.
it doesn't make much sense to put anything back there at all.
Yeah, no way. I mean, you could do like tomatoes in pots, really easy. That's what I did this year because I did like I had like a 10-gallon round pot that I had like 3 massive tomato plants in them, and then my tomato plants were like 7 foot tall before they started to like, oh god, and then fall over. So they're gigantic, and we pulled tomatoes off of them until like a week and a half ago, something like that. We've still pulled them. Then I took the plant down, basically to where I can overwinter it. Do it again.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one benefit here, right? Like I don't have to worry about winter too much. Worst comes to worst, it's 50 degrees.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm on the ocean. Not the same. Yeah, Chris Collins talks about said that we harvest the mushrooms. Kim got those mushroom blocks. If you guys haven't seen those yet, they're fucking super cool. I have seen them in person. I've seen them in the store. They have them at like Home Depot and whatnot. But you can like grow edible mushrooms. They have these like blocks of spores. You basically just like cut an X in the side and fold the flaps open and then kind of like scrape up the surface and then you water it and like keep it facing towards the sun or whatever and it fucking just grows a whole harvest full of mushrooms. You can then after the fact you grow like one whole side out, you can flip the thing around in the box or whatever it is because it needs to be dark on one side, obviously light on the other, and then you can score and do the backside again, and you can get mushrooms to grow out of the backside too. So like 2 harvests out of one little kit. And it's just like a little fun thing. It's like passive. It doesn't do anything. It's just like do anything bad. It's really fun.
Mushrooms out the backside. I like it.
Yeah, they're pretty cool mushrooms. Oh, dude, yes. Okay, so spider mites. Get mammoth can control. That is going to help you for all sorts of shit. Does it get? And you're saying it get cold down there at night, which means you're going to have probably or potentially get powdery mildew, botrytis, gray mold, potentially. But that would just be within like the flowers themselves. That would cause damping off and killing of the flowers before they get a chance to germinate grapefruit. So you canna control by it's Mammoth is the company. Or it's also the same thing. But they get that stuff. It works against your like powdery mildews and it works against spider mites too. It's way better than using like neem oil or something like that. Like some people will say, if you have a problem with spider mites, use neem oil. Like, don't use neem oil. That's like gonna take you 1,000 years and it's never gonna do any good. And the Mammoth products are like super safe for food. Fucking dude, spider mites are crazy. I had a Chinese maple tree that I spent a lot of money on and spent a number of years caring for, or a number of years, like about a year caring for. And then spider mites rolled through Brooklyn and like came in my loft window and just I came downstairs and it was covered in webs. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like my tree. Sad fucking day. Like grow succulents and they can't eat succulents. So that's why I have a lot of I have jades and aloes and stuff like that. Philodendrons, they can't get into philodendrons, the wrong kind of stuff. It's too waxy. Using neem oil for other pests, but it does fuck off for spider mites. Exactly. You can nuke them with some crazy shit that's out there if you want to, but like if they're in an enclosed area, you can do like a Pythium bomb. That will by 3M or
I wouldn't advise Googling that.
You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon. It's good. They call it P-bombs. But yeah, that'll kill everything in the air. And then it dissipates, it breaks down. You just wash your plants off with like water and hose them off with the hose. You put them in a tent. You put a tent out there, I guess, a little pop tent. They're small enough around the plants. Just don't put the bottom of the tent on. But neem oil is actually really good for your skin. Moisturizer.
I'm not familiar.
It's all good.
Neem oil. They are
Yep.
really bad around here this year.
Dude, they're really bad all over the fucking place. And thrips. Fuck a lot of thrips. They got into my tomatoes at the end of the season. I was very sad to see that. See, because I treated with a can of control in the early season, so the whole bottom of the plant and everything was great. And then they came and got up in the upper parts, just weakens the plant. You know, drags it down, makes it harder to get shit going. And if you're doing stuff, if you're having problems with soil too, Paul, you can add bacterial amendments to it.
Yeah, I'd have to
in water,
like you definitely have to buy soil here because our soil's like soil is a very loose term here in Florida. It could also mean sand.
Right. Well, you can grow stuff in sand.
Yeah. Palm trees.
Yeah. Oh no, you can grow everything in sand. I mean, you can't be just sand, but
yeah, we don't have a lot of nutrients
can be
in
a
the
big
ground
part
here.
of it. No, exactly. No, then it's actually hydroponic. You can't grow like because it doesn't have soil quality. Like you're dealing with hummus. You're not dealing with any kind of like real bacterial elements or anything like that. Like or any of the other like organic things that are present in like a living soil.
Yep.
Just like it's like stones. Just got stones and smaller stones, slightly bigger stones. Yeah, definitely buy soil for sure, bro.
Yeah, like I said, once the backyard's done, I'll look into doing something. I got to figure out like what kind of space I have or will have left. And I'll have a huge backyard, and not much of it's going to be left. So
that's all right.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I bet there's something. I'm interested to see what it looks like when it's all done, and I'd be happy to talk to you about options if you'd like in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Or you grow your shit vertically from hanging devices. Those do look pretty cool. I've seen some really cool little setups with that.
Yep, they're good, especially if you have if you're like limited on light and you have like a lot of like more vertical space. Then yeah.
You know we are old when we talk about gardening.
Dude, I've been a gardener since I was young, so it's all good.
I mean, I don't know if scale modeling makes you a whole lot younger sounding, to be honest.
Hey, listen. Look. I'm about to pull the old man thing and get a paper towel out. I'm going to wipe my greasy face.
Back in my day,
I used to have to ride my bicycle on the side of the highway a mile to get to the store to buy myself a bottle of some paint, which is true. I'm just lucky that I had that close to my spot. Oh shit!
Funny, right. I broke in the new spray booth last night. And I got a chance to paint a little bit.
Wait, do you have the one that comes with the Artie station? Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's nice. The fan is
crazy draw.
Move some paint.
Crazy draw.
I'll say exhaust some paint. Yeah.
Yeah. I need.
I gotta glue the magnets into the side of the booth. So the way this one works is, like on the angled parts that come out, there's little holes on the top and bottom that you're supposed to glue magnets in, and then it's got like an adjacent, an accompanying strip with the same magnets, the opposite pole, and it sticks. So you can put like a filter material behind that, and then the magnets hold it in place. But I don't have them glued in right now, so it was like a pain. Every time I moved it, the magnets would stick together and either stay in the booth or come with the stick.
Got you. Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer.
And I haven't wired up the toggle switches yet, so the fan is, once you plug it in, it's on, and you unplug it, turn it off. It doesn't have a switch involved in it yet.
Right.
So I got to get on that.
It works.
Yeah. But right above the booth, like on the top of the booth, it's got 3 toggle switches that you can use for like your compressor, the lights, and your exhaust fan. So I want to wire it all up so it works nice. I got to get some kind of LED.
Alex, right?
Oh yeah, for on and off in Korean.
Yeah.
I got to get like an LED strip too that goes up in the top of the booth because
I don't
have any lights right now.
Definitely need that.
Yeah, I'm gonna measure it out.
Paramount.
Find something on Amazon.
Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely.
But yeah, I finished painting everything left on the frame. It's just gray, but it's not gonna focus because my face is there.
Use your hand. Hey, it worked. Nice.
There you go. So that's just the hand. It's got those like 3.0 hands, but some of them have some masking and some silver details and stuff to do. And
sure.
So that's all of the frame is done for the Hakushiki. So I just gotta clear it and do a little bit of wash on it for some of the little details and flat coat it. And
killer.
Yeah, I've imposed a deadline on myself of the end of this year to get that and the Jesta done.
Okay, good. That's definitely good.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off the beginning of next year with the Dom. Let's see.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I need to finish mine too. Of course, I started customizing it, so
yeah, I gotta get back to it and see. I don't really remember like exactly at what point I stopped, because I think I had cleaned up just about all the resin, and then I started gluing some of the pieces that kind of needed to get glued together, like the whole waist section, the torso had to get glued, sandwiched and glued. But I gotta break it out and see where I'm at. But like I said, I'm gonna finish some shit this year first.
Yeah. I remember I was making custom metal details for the Vulcans in the shoulders because they have like
guns right, yeah. Are they guns?
And they were like,
they're guns?
Yeah, I think they are.
Oh.
I'm taking it like that.
Okay.
Or something. And so I just like made little metal bits that like fit. They look better. They fit better.
Yeah.
Than like those broken resin.
I was gonna say the resin is a little inconsistent in that spot. Like,
very.
Either it gets super thin in some spots or it's not completely flat.
Gotta fuck with the head. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, the head is a little bit of a bitch.
Get the visor to fit. You're farther along on that than I am by far.
I got it in, but I have to the problem is I guess I could just mask it off, but it's not removable once it's in. Like if you did remove it, you'd scratch the shit out of your paint. So I got to figure out like how I want to accomplish that goal. And so the plus cutout is a little bit of a different shape than the plus clear plastic. So what I was going to do at the time was put the clear plastic in and then either hit it with like really light with a heat gun or put it in some warm water and then like rubber band it around it so it would, like kind of recure tight. But I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Just so I had some like gaps between the clear plastic and the outer armor piece.
Yeah, just a little bit of play.
Yeah, I just didn't care for it. So
I
guess I could just glue it
there. I was like, man, I know this is gonna be a thing. I don't even want to broach it yet. And you were just like, just go right in, which is great.
I just started cutting the clear plastic. I was like, fuck it.
I get my ceramic scraper out, scrape it up. So talk about goal end of year goals and goals or whatever in general. So the A10 I need to have done by the end of the month. I want to finish the Messerschmitt as well, and I'm very fucking close to doing that. And I need to finish the core build. Not because it's for the core build off, but because it's just like a fun idea where I mashed the core with a old F91 kit from 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just want to have that little thing put together and done. And I want to try and get all of those as well as the leopard and start on the half track by shortly after Christmas. So those are my goals.
The two planes are not far off, right?
No. And I have a deadline on the A10, so that's got to get done in the next 10 days. And then the Messerschmitt is not far off at all. It's mostly been me. Like I was really ambitious with the cloud work on the base, and you guys can't see it because the mic's in the way. He's right here.
Is the
cloud work on the base was so ambitious, but I think I'm at a point now where I can just like leave that where it is, and then just work on painting it, and then just finishing off the whole model. I kind of want to wrap it up.
Is the A10 is that a reasonable deadline? The end of the month, like very doable or stretch?
I mean, it is. It's the thing is like I every day that I stream, I lose the entire day for modeling. Tuesdays are good because I actually have Tuesdays off, so during the daytime I can get work done. But like I have like a bunch of other responsibilities, like whole house and shit to take care of with like the yard and like and then with working and everything like that. So it's been hard to get time in. That was originally how I started the show out, was talking about how I missed the days of the pandemic where we were like, where I had like unlimited time, like laid off from working at the metal shop and like unlimited time to work at the fucking workbench, no problems at all. And well, no problems at all. And
no modeling problems.
Yeah, no modeling issues, like nothing to get in the way of the modeling. And then but then like having it all like taken back so quickly, it's rough because like I would love to have that time, but I don't have it. So now I gotta like try to. It's weird. I gotta like try to make it all count, and I don't.
I can relate. So yeah, you're preaching to the choir there. Time is difficult, and energy is about as difficult as time.
Good night, patty cakes. Be well.
Later, man. Yeah, by the time I get home from work on a normal day, like not like today, just kind of mentally exhausted. It's hard to like function like a human being afterwards. But
I often like find myself like trying to find the right thing to watch, while I'm like, by the time I find something, it's like I'm like start looking at 9. And then by the time I find something, I'm like, all right, I finally found something. Like, how late is it? And it's like 11.
Yeah, bro, that's
How did it take that long?
I don't go on Netflix for that reason. Like, I don't know what kind of mental block I have with Netflix, but the minute, unless I absolutely know what I'm gonna watch when I turn it on, but if I'm like, I just want to watch something, let's go on Netflix, it's a bad idea because I'm on that motherfucker for an hour and a half and I still haven't picked anything out. I'm not even close. So I'm like,
respect, yeah.
What am I gonna watch?
Yep. I mean, we have access to a Plex account, and it has like 7,000 or 8,000 movies on it. It's like everything, not everything, but a lot of things. Like pretty limited anime, getting more, but mostly just like your major releases and shit, and then like history, like movies from all the way back, all sorts of different genres and like whatever. It's good though. At the same time, a little overwhelming. I remember back, like I was actually just talking to my wife Colleen about this a couple days ago, about how nice it almost was back in the day to only have like those movies you owned or like your family had, and then it was like, well, we only have these ones to choose from, so we're gonna choose whichever one like is the best of these. Now it's like, now I got 8,000 movies to choose from. It's like, that's a lot.
Yeah. Your hardest decision was like, oh, I'm going to Blockbuster on Friday and they have 3 new releases. So one of those 3.
Or you knew or you were like thinking of a movie you wanted to get and then you went and got it. Right.
Yeah. But you've been thinking about it all week at that point. Like it wasn't like you just got home, sat on the couch and you're like, oh, it's really hard. It's really hard to explain that to like my son. He like if something's like on TV, we have like YouTube cable. We don't YouTube TV. We don't even have like real cable. Sure. So, but like, something will come on, like whatever kids, TV show he's into, whatever cartoon or whatever. And he's like, oh, can you start it from the beginning? And I'm like, no, it's not how that works. Yeah. He's like, why? Just rewind it. I'm like, no, I understand why you would think that, but right. There was a time, son.
when you were the remote. Like,
Yeah. Where rewinding was not an option at all.
nope. Yeah, exactly. If you missed a new episode of something, like you would have to wait until they replayed it until you would get a chance. Like nowadays, even if they do that, like say you're watching cooking series, Bake Off, Challenge, whatever the hell it is, doesn't matter what it is. They'll usually like play the previous week's episode in the time slot prior to the new episode.
Yeah.
Or there's been a trend of that, which is I think is like nice because it gives you a chance to catch up if you have, or if you're able to get, like meet that deadline, whatever time wise. But
yeah. But and then well, even after that, you can always go to like whatever HGTV's website and watch on demand or whatever.
Right.
So it's
right,
it's
or even
never,
for if not like for free for like a super small price.
Yeah. Or you can record it. You can like set it to record.
You can DVR it. Yeah, if you have a DVR in your cable package.
It's just these spoiled kids.
They don't even know.
They don't know. They don't know what it's like to wake up at 7 o'clock on a Sunday so you can watch cartoons or Saturday.
Yeah. I was always, man. I have never been a sleeper, so like I was always up at the crack of dawn, being annoying.
Maybe like when I was like in my late teens, I probably slept in a little more because TV, didn't interest me anyway. But like as a kid, I was like, I got to get up to like do stuff, like because you feel like you were sleeping away your free time, right? Like that's still the same way. I still feel that way now. Like I will not go to sleep, not because of some uncontrollable problem with sleeping, but I'm just like, but like I kind of want to watch TV or play a video game or build or whatever, and this is my alone free time, at 1 o'clock in the morning when everyone else is asleep.
I mean, yeah, that's a sacrifice, right? Especially with like having to work, and like you have to get up and you have to go to work, and then come home and you're given like, in a way, you're only given a little sliver of time before you're supposed to, in essence, go to bed, to sleep the proper amount of time, to rest properly, to get up and go do it all over again.
Sure.
Why are you working for it? Like, I don't know. It's rough.
But, even so on weekends, like, like I'll sleep later, don't get me wrong, than like I would on the weekday if I have to get up on the weekday at like 6 o'clock or whatever. But on the weekend, I'll sleep till 7. Woo! It was a crazy night, huh?
Yeah,
I just feel like I'm losing time. Like if I'm asleep, I can't do anything.
I've been trying to sleep more. I sleep on an average of like 4 to 5 hours a night, day, whatever. Like that's not
horrible.
It is, but it's not. It's not, because some people sleep way less, like way less than that. But like I've been trying to sleep more, and it's not really working out.
Yeah, I'm like probably like 5 or 6, somewhere in that range is pretty normal for me. My wife Sylvia is like, she's out at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Like she goes to bed, and I don't know how she does it. She can also just sleep at will, and I cannot understand it for the life of me. Like she's just like, I'm not tired, but I'm going to lay down and go to sleep. I'm like, what? How do you do that? She's like, you close your eyes. I'm like, that's not how the world works.
Actually, yeah, it is though. Like it's supposed to. Like I can fall asleep really fast. Colleen hates how fast I can fall asleep, because like even if we go to bed at the same time, you can't. Yeah, she's the same way. She can't sleep. She can't fall asleep at all. We like go lay down, or like she'll be like asleep, or like have fallen asleep, half hour or whatever, and I'll go lay down in bed, and I'll wake her up by laying down. She's like, oh, like good night, whatever, like kiss and stuff, and then go to like. And then I'll just like roll over and just be like, boom, done. Like, and asleep. And she's like,
she's go to sleep. It's like a ritual, man. Fuck. Like I like an hour ritual to get myself to go to sleep. It's just not normal. 7 hours of sleep, I don't function. Pretty much worthless. So I am the opposite. The less I sleep, like the more manic I become, especially at work. Like if I get like 2 to 3 hours of sleep, then I can't sit still at all the next day.
Wow.
It becomes like a thing. Like, I'll crash eventually. Like I can't really do that, 4 nights in a row or something like that. I'll I'll do it 2 or 3 nights in a row. Yeah. I'll do it. Well, no, I mean, not even like that. I'm just fucking tired, like, so after 2 or 3 nights of that, like, then I'll fall asleep at 11 o'clock at night and get, a normal amount of hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But
it does get harder as you get older.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. Like I used to drink the night away, 5 nights at least a week. And I remember, like, so when I was younger, I worked with my dad. He's a contractor. I remember like coming home at, 5 o'clock in the morning and just sleeping in his truck to get as much sleep as I could before we had to go to work.
Right.
He'd be like, he'd come in the truck and be like, when did you get in here? Oh, I've been waiting for you. He's like, God, you stink.
Yeah, right.
You just smell like whiskey.
Yeah, just like drink. Speaking of which, I gotta go make a drink. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. The good old days. I'm sure you guys have all been there. It's the fun stuff, man. It's being young. That's another like unfortunate. I mean, I'm not old by any stretch. I'm still in my early 30s, but you used to have a late night out drinking and you sleep late. Now it's like I get worse sleep. Like if I overindulge, I'll wake up even earlier the next morning and feel like shit. But you still do it, just not as often. Only on weekends. And you get a little smarter when you're young. You drink stupid things and mix stupid things. You get a little older, a little wiser. You get less hangovers. Hopefully. That's the goal. Seven hours of sleep. Worthless for 2 days. Man. Going to the city at 11 p.m. Now I eat pizza after 8 p.m. It's nothing but heartburn. Yeah, that's for sure. You definitely have less of a propensity to go out late at night when you get a little older. Fuck it, I'll just stay home. The pandemic made that really weird too. Like I'm so used to being home at this point. Like it's the norm, like even on the weekend, let's say like it's a Sunday and I gotta go, grocery shopping or something like that. As before 2.5, whatever it's been years ago, I wouldn't think too much of it. Just be like, oh, I gotta go to the grocery store. Now it's like, oh, I gotta leave the house. Man, damn it. So it's changed things, but
I had put aside the phone for my MC for you.
Any like annoying task on the weekends or after hours, after work, I'm like, can we order it on Amazon? Can I get it shipped to me? Lazy. I've gotten lazy. Damn you, COVID. You've made us all homebodies. And forget about it if there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people somewhere. I'll stay home and watch TV. I'll stay home and look through Netflix for the next 2 hours. It's way more fun than going to the bar. Bar's crowded. Pizza after 8. Man, I have not eaten dinner yet, and pizza sounds amazing, but now it's too late.
Too late. It's never too late.
Yeah, it's too late to order pizza.
It's never too late for pizza. Now
shouldn't
pizza's
be.
for breakfast. Pizza's not for breakfast.
Talk about being up all night. If I order pizza now and it comes at 11:30,
That's why I go for microwave popcorn with chopsticks. That's my go-to.
Can't wait to get home. Yeah, man. I feel like I've become more of a homebody in the last year and a half, certainly because of COVID. Especially like after, like when it really broke out and that first summer, everyone was home like on lockdown. Like once lockdown kind of ended where you could start to go, certain places, it was like hard to peel myself out of the house. I was like, no. Like Saturday and Sunday, I stay home. I don't go places. That's weird.
Oh yeah. No, I mean now, yeah. Since I've been, back on the grind, it's a bit different too, because like I travel to the city to go to work, and so that's a whole like extra layer of shit that I do all the time now. Like I'm on several different forms of mass transit and like, out and about, like, and I have been, for a while now. And so for me, that's almost kind of normalized. And then to think about it being like people like, oh, I have to go out. I'm like, yeah. So, not that there's anything wrong with the way you're feeling about it, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I never stopped going to work through all of it. I didn't
I
have
know.
that option.
Yeah. You sir, soldier. We didn't have the choice. You're water man.
Yeah. I mean, luckily I have no interaction with public, right? It was just the people that I'm very close to working to. And even at that, we took our certain precautions, especially at the beginning. But
appropriate.
Yeah, but I remember when it first started, they switched all our hours around, and I was working. I had 3-day weekend. I had 3-day weekends, so I'll be off all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And man, that was like it was like Thursday night on the way home. Get everything you need so we can bunker down for the weekend.
Yeah, not have to go anywhere.
Yeah,
but I feel that, man. Like for my days off too, I'm in the same boat. Like we have to do the grocery store. Sometimes I'll talk to Colleen and we'll be like, yo, I'm going to pick you up when I get home from work. We're going to go do the grocery run and go to the liquor store and then come back home so we don't got to do shit tomorrow. Like, don't get to do it anywhere at all.
Yeah.
Which is good. And then it's like, yeah, I have to go to work the next day, but fuck it.
Want to get
one
out of
day.
the country. Yeah. So Sylvia and I were planning to go to Japan. I guess that was
for a while.
We had planned it for a while, like not like tight plans, but kind of had everything that we wanted to do planned out and where we wanted to stay, and we were going to go at the end of 2020, and then it was like either we were either going to go like November of 2020 or April of 2021, and then because the Olympics were originally scheduled for 2020. Right. Yes. Yeah. So we were looking at like April of 2020 originally, and then it was like, I don't want to deal with the Olympics and all that shit. So we were going to go in November of 2020, and then or April of 2021.
Nope.
You painted or just snap it up or something. Yeah, that's just snapped up. So all of these that are right here used to be on a shelf that was just above this picture right here, and the shelf fell down. So those are all survivors. I don't know if you can see right this way. There is the beginning of the Hainu, and he doesn't even have the backpack on or everything because that thing flew apart into 700 pieces. So it's in the bag. But I have all the pieces. I just didn't feel like putting it back together. So those are all just snapped.
Nice.
There was a point when I was never not snapping something.
Then we started streaming a lot, and
Yeah.
I remember you went through a big string of snapping, like alternating wing and seed kits, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken.
Yeah, those are all still over there somewhere. But yeah, I don't really snap as much anymore. I have a Barbatos like half snap that I've had for like 2 months now. Just
Oh, the master grade.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got it up there. It's awesome. It's definitely in the active backlog, but it is bookended by a 1 to 32nd scale F4U 1D Corsair from Revell and a 1 to 48 scale Junkers Stuka on the other side from Airfix. So it's definitely out of its element, Donnie.
Yeah, Typhurious. That was always like how I'd have something going on that I was like painting or whatever, and then I would just constantly be snapping. Like I almost look at them like two different hobbies. Like just snap building something's relaxing. It's like a cathartic release.
Oh
where, painting's a little more of a project and fun.
Oh, yeah.
But
I actually have like
more
a
of
project
like
coming in the
creative
mail
thing.
soon.
Yeah.
One coming in the mail soon. I'm working with somebody. They want a model assembled and cleaned up, sanded, and maybe some scribes to make it fancy and whatever. So that's going to be coming to me soon in the mail, and I'll be working on that on the side while I'm doing this other stuff. So that'll actually give me the opportunity while I'm doing some streaming like this, where I'm at the workbench, I'm doing the dojo. And where I can just like do some simple snapping and stuff. I don't want to get like we talked about it in the podcast for on the shitter, like a table that like flips out so that you can work on your models while you're dropping the deuce. I don't know if you guys haven't listened to it. Listen to the Build Sideways podcast. We're stupid and funny and talk about a lot of interesting things. It's good shit. Anyhow, but yeah. So I was thinking about having like a TV tray or a bench or something that would like sit on my chair here, so that while I'm doing like stuff like this, I can sit and like snap while I talk to the camera, because the camera's on top of my laptop right now, so I can see my dumbass when I talk to my dumbass, like I'm right now pointing at me. And then I can work on little things like that, like cleaning parts, snapping out little things, and like just getting stuff, making sure that everything's really nice. Because I really do enjoy that. I think you two are the same way, Paul. Paul and I have always been about sanding everything and like making sure that it's all like super clean and everything's like real nice, even for just the way I like to build. And yeah, so it's fun.
I've like challenged myself sometimes, like just as like, I don't know, a goof. Like I'm gonna put this kit together without sanding or something like that, and
never
I get through like 3 parts and I'm like, this is so fucking annoying, I can't leave this here.
I've even done that on stream and been like, you guys yell at me every time I sand. And then people yell at me, but I still end up sanding. What was that, Sazabi? That was the Sazabi days when I was doing all the Sazabis. I
did the Jagan like that. I was like, I'm not gonna, because it's such a
so
plain,
nice,
but it's very plain looking kit, right? It's a perfect canvas to do whatever it is you want to do on it. So I was like, well, I know I'm not gonna
green.
Right. I know I'm not gonna leave it alone though. So like, I don't want to go crazy sanding this kit, right? Like, because I'm clearly gonna do something to it. I don't want it to look, this plain. But I still did the same thing. Like after like 3 or 4 pieces of armor, I was like, I can't leave them like this.
Honestly, for real. Or even if you just clean up the nubs, like even just that plain, even just doing that is not enough for me. Like I'll do that, like like you're doing, say like on a Netsuka, you're doing leg armor or something, like the nubs are like on the top and the bottom of the sides that clam together, and then like you clean that one plane off and clean that other plane off, and it's like, I gotta get rid of the sheen.
Yeah. I tried to do that. Like I would, I'm only gonna sand to like 800 grit, because I'm gonna prime this kit anyway, and like I'm gonna use 1200 surfacer, and no matter what, it's gonna be clean. And then I'm like, well, 800. What's 1,000? What's 1,000? One more grit. We're good here.
I mean,
1,000. Why not 1,200?
if you're gonna go 12, then you're definitely gonna go 15, and if you're gonna go 15, you might as well go 22.
I have this
I'm
like
just saying.
even on like parts that have no exposed nubs, I have like a little like it's like a nail buffer, but it leaves like the perfect like getting rid of the sheen kind of finish. Like if you weren't gonna flat coat a kit, like it's the perfect, gives you a nice flat, unsheen finish. So even I'll have to break that out at least and do a little buffing.
Charlie Sheen finish?
Yeah.
That's a bad joke. Actually, I am mistaken, and I tend to go 15, 18, and then I jump all the way up to 8,000. So it's a little different, but it's different. It's not like sandpaper. That's cloth at that point.
Yeah. It's like a buff almost.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a polishing. It's like a mildly abrasive polishing, like a emery cloth of sorts. And it will make stuff super smooth. I've made things so smooth that the paint doesn't want to stick to them. It's like, what?
I'll usually stop somewhere between like 12 and 15. I'll like, all right, I'm good here.
Yeah, especially if you're priming.
Yeah, I feel comfortable. Like the surface is nice and even, like if you've sanded everything. You've gotten at about 1500, you've gotten past the point of like scratches. Like you don't see sanding like lines anymore.
I see them. But for me, it's like literally it's just these little cloth dudes. So, and don't everybody fall out now. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, like this one. Why? This is 1800. And this one is 8,000. And this one is 11,000. And this one is 14,000. Which is good for doing canopies. Yeah. Or polishing clear parts. You can polish your clear parts, guys. If you scratch a clear part for your Gundam, like a visor or whatever, you can sand it out and polish it out. It just takes, takes a little time.
A perfect example of the kind of the same concept is like when when you have foggy headlights and you get like a headlight refinishing kit, you're sanding and then polishing the headlight back to that very clear finish. Same concept, just smaller scale.
Yeah, you're just getting rid of the haze.
Yeah.
You can do it with a lot of things. If you I've seen people use like bug spray for like a temporary like fix. It's like scratch repair, old scratch repair kits for CDs back in the day. Where you like wipe something on and it literally just fills in the scratches. That's it. That's how it is, and that's it.
What was it like peanut butter? Like rub it in with peanut butter.
Right. Or like what was it? My buddy Jake from the metal shop used to use fucking KY jelly. He said it worked perfect every time for his like either with CDs or I think it was for CDs and like an old Discman. Those were some wild days, man. When I worked as a landscaper, all I had was a Discman. That was the pinnacle of technology at that time. I'm sure that they had like MP3 players that you could get that could hold like 15 songs and like were like the size of a pack of cigarettes. But I didn't have the scratch for that. So yeah, I had like a Discman and like a fucking bunch of burned CDs like riding around in the truck. And then you would just be like, all right, what am I listening
that case? To? Did you have the case?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The flip pages, like back, front, back, everything. Like,
hell yeah.
Everything's all written out. Yeah. So what are we listening to? Outcast?
Like
is that what we're listening to today? Outcast?
All burned CDs. Mixes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Burns and mixes. Yep.
I want to know what a kid does. Like, what does a teenage boy do in 2021 when his girlfriend dumps him? Does he make like a mix playlist? I don't understand. You're
I don't
supposed
know,
to
man.
burn yourself a CD, the breakup playlist, and write the songs on there.
Man, I'm so old. It was tapes when I was
Tapes.
going through that shit. The mixtape, or you make the mixtape to give to the girl and be like, "Look, I know you don't want to talk to me anymore. Just listen to this, okay? Please, just I'm sorry.
Oh,
Thank you."
man.
So good.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
I don't know what you do in 2021.
Dude, what did they do before it was like audio cassettes where you could like easily re-record them and shit? What are you gonna like
Right.
press a vinyl? Those canisters, like make a canister like for the man. Wild.
I guess maybe we had it good. We had it good when it comes to breakup mixes.
Honestly, yeah. The analog tape is probably the easiest form because you can rewrite that without anything.
That's why we had Jinko's big pants with big pockets for your anti-skip CD player and CD booklet.
Dude, yeah. You can fit the like 300-page booklet in those pants because the pocket goes all the way down to the back of your calf. Create and share a playlist on Spotify.
How do I just feel like it doesn't have the same impact?
Rubber Curses in the past just kidnap various barbershop quartets.
Just some kind of, I don't know, just some impact missing, and I made
Totally.
you a playlist. That's not work.
True.
You didn't have to download these 12 songs on Napster with an AOL connection.
Oh, straight. Exactly. And hope you didn't get a virus. And, and hope it was actually the song.
Yes.
And not like some
Fake.
random shit or like whatever. Oh, God.
Or it was like good, decent enough audio quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what did I used to use? LimeWire.
Yep. Yeah. And FrostWire.
There's a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Robert
I
Kurtz
had
says
friends
that
who
he had
shared
friends-
mixed CDs and one who shared a mixed flash drive.
Oh, I could dig that.
Yeah, I guess a flash
have
drive would
a
work now,
Winamp?
dude.
If you didn't have Win, I totally had Winamp, dude. Oh, fuck me. So good. You're too young for me. Dude, Winamp. Ah, take me back. Man, when I first was messing around with computers, it was like DOS games and like Wolfenstein 3D, and then this like F1 like IndyCar style racing game that the homie had. Like that was literally it. Or like Doom. Yeah, Doom.
Yep. Did you have Duke Nukem?
Yeah, Duke Nukem, and Duke Nukem. And then eventually, like, I got the gold edition Duke Nukem 3D, the throwback. Like, oh yeah, those are good times.
Winamp, it really whips the hum. Oh man, yeah, I had some pretty shitty. I had I'm trying to think of like the first video game I had on PC that was like probably like StarCraft that actually had like decent graphics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And in that same vein, that's like third person God mode style.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like playing Warcraft, the original Warcraft, and then Warcraft 2, and then Warcraft 3, and then like, we talked about the Diablos. And playing other weird games, but not like, but in the same vein of like Wolfenstein and Doom, playing like or like Duke Nukem, like other weird games like Hexen, which was like a magic kind of like almost like a kind of precursor to like what Bethesda ended up doing with Elder Scrolls, and then kind of like a little bit different than what like FromSoft ended up doing, like a Dark Souls or like a Kingsfield predecessors do. Played a lot of those weird games when I was young, like trying to find cool fantasy dungeon crawler games to play, where it would be like a grid map that looked like you were playing Minesweeper, and then like that were like it was like all grayed out. And you had to like try to like find your way through it, and then encounter enemies, and the enemy would pop up and it'd be like this like pixelated like
Yeah, it was all text based. It would
image,
tell
yeah.
you like
Or
yeah,
and then you like
yeah.
have to like, try to attack it and like rate like what you had and like it was fun.
Like the frozen dragon attacks you with his icy blast, and
not
what will
as
you
bad
do?
as not as bad as like or as the way that they was in Big. It's really
Yeah.
Stuff is, like personified really well in Big, but like a little bit more rudimentary than that. That stuff was more like animated. This is less than that. It's more just like it changes screen, and then you're like, now you're in like a different room, and it kind of looks like this, and then like, oh, there's a monster, and then that pops up in a different like little mini screen, and yeah, it's pretty lame. Adventure in Monkey Island, oh, classic.
I don't remember like at what point games became like where you couldn't run a game on just about any hardware. You know what I mean? Like now, if you go get like a real like AAA title and you want to play it on its highest resolution, like you have to have a pretty good amount of money invested in your PC. And I don't really remember like when that started. Like because when I was a kid, I don't remember ever having to worry about that.
True. No,
other than the memory to like hold the game, that was really the only issue.
Yeah, the RAM to run it. Like be able to be fast enough to process it. The processor.
Right. I don't remember GPU though being not that I don't even think GPUs existed at that point. It was all integrated graphics, but
yeah,
still.
No, I know, and then a lot of it is like super simple, and it was made to be that way on purpose so that it was user friendly and it could go everywhere. And now there is like an exclusivity that is like built into it. Wow, the way the plant behind me, it looks like I have crazy curly hair. That's cool.
So a nice mullet.
Yeah, man. Like I'm got the hippie hair back there. But yeah, like I feel like it was meant to be more of more user friendly and exactly more across the board. And then like the way things are set up now, it does kind of like breathe that a little bit of exclusivity or a little bit of that like that clout reach to be able to like have the shit to run that shit.
Yeah. It's not cheap. It's not easy to find either.
Yeah.
Hey, type yours.
Fucking PC master race bullshit for like first person shooters is dumb because all you're doing is using your mouse to move a cursor to click on someone's head. You don't actually have to move like with an analog stick. Like that is so much harder to do. If you get good with that, then fucking like just moving a little cursor around and click it. Where's the fun in that?
So on like first person shooters like Call of Duty or any of the kind, even on PC, you play with a controller. You don't play point and click anymore. But they do have like you can use like a PlayStation or an Xbox remote just plugged into your PC. But you can also use like designed gaming controllers that are a little more customizable or have like better responses and stuff like that.
There's some really cool shit out there I've seen in the past. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah. Like I very vaguely play Call of Duty like every once in a while, and I use a PlayStation remote. I don't try to use my keyboard with that shit. That'd be horrible.
Oh yeah, respect. Yeah. No, my buddy, and you can do that too cross-platform too. Like my homie Courtney has a PlayStation, but he likes the Xbox controller, so he got like a converter so that he could play with an Xbox controller on the PlayStation. It's like, why not? Yeah. Like this. This is a Microsoft Dell laptop or whatever. Like this is for gaming. And
like even I have like Formula One, like F1 22, I think it is. I play with a remote. I can't like steer with a like what's that AWDX or whatever. Like
oh right. Oh god,
not gonna happen.
Wow. Yeah, that's a whole different set of
controller outside of consoles. Ooh. I don't know, man.
I barely play FPS.
So it's not a big thing for me. It's when lockdown first happened, I played a lot. Like Call of Duty Warzone just came out, and I was playing a lot. Like with my buddies, that was like an excuse for us to get on there and drink. Basically, we'll play Call of Duty for a couple of hours and fuck off. It was the only way we could talk to each other, really, because you couldn't
Can't go
to the
somewhere.
bar with your buddies. Yeah. So
Right. Remote bar.
yeah.
You don't have to drive home. You're already there.
Yeah, just pass out my gaming chair. It reclines. I don't really play video games anymore. I don't have a computer that can handle anything anymore. Yeah. You do have to invest a little bit of money to
Yeah. I want a new console, a new gen console, but they're just hard to get right now. When they come around, when they're available, I'll get one.
I looked for a while to get a PS5, and if it wasn't for Z, I wouldn't have one. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta you have to be incredibly diligent to be able to track where that shit comes down. And I'll go through and I'll read stories about like how these console drops just go drastically low, drastically bad, just terrible.
Yeah.
And or see how they'll do limited product release pre-order shit, and then they have all this extra protections and stuff, and everything still gets botted or swatted, just sucked away sold within 40 seconds. And it's just
well, the problem is even if they could do something to stop the bots, you have so many people looking for it. What retailer was that? Newegg. So they sell mainly
Newegg, yeah.
PC components, but they're also doing consoles and stuff. But what they were doing was a bundle. So you had to buy the bundle, but the idea was that the bot wouldn't find the bundle. Right, because the bot, you go in there and you say to look for this, you look for Xbox on this website, and it just constantly checks the website over and over and over again, and then either carts it for you or buys it for you depending on the bot. But if you put these varying bundles, every time it comes up, it's a different bundle. The bot can't really find it, and it's still they're gone. And by the time you click add to cart, that shit's gone.
Right. Yeah. Demand is really high.
Yeah. It's and raw material is really low.
Yeah, now the material supply is really rough.
Gaming in general, whether it's PC or console, is at its highest point right now. It's peak. So many people are buying it, and at the same point, there's a huge shortage on silicon and some of the other materials to get these.
All the rare metal shit that they need to make the chips and stuff.
You
don't need much of it, but there isn't much of it around or easily gotten here on this planet. Give it time.
Yeah.
It'll
catch up.
Asteroids and Lagrange points.
We'll 3D print ourselves something.
Find the elements out in space, and you don't need much of them, so it doesn't take much to harvest to get back. That's a feasible thing to bring back to the surface as a raw material. You're not going to harvest steel in space and bring it to the planet. That's dumb as fuck. You keep it in space or whatever, titanium, and you build with it out there. You don't bring it into the planet. But weird shit, I don't know, whatever they use in chips. I don't know. I don't know that shit. So
silicon. We're gonna get Elon Musk on this right now.
Kick that fucking guy out. Put him on one of his dick-shaped rockets and shoot him into the fucking sun.
SpaceX him up there and make us some chips.
Him and fucking Bezos, the battle of the dick-shaped rocket.
I was telling a buddy of mine last week that I have this idea for a sketch comedy show, right? So they would be 5 to 10 minute sketches, and it's being in the room when crazy ideas were pitched. Right. Okay. But it's a comedy, something like an SNL type skit. Right. Yeah. And you're in the room when Elon Musk was telling his engineers that he wanted to land the SpaceX rocket up and down. And they're all no, it's got to come in like this. Yeah, but I wanted to do that. And or when Bezos was pitching Amazon as more than a book purchasing place, you know, and like
Oh,
all
dude,
the
right.
all the investors are like, you don't know,
Really? You like
stupid
think
fucking
people
idea.
are gonna order stuff from
The
this?
internet?
Like, well, I mean, honestly, if they can get anything they want, it's like the Walmart of the fucking internet. But
Yeah. A
Hi.
lot of satire though.
You're not on the camera. You're doing really well. What are you going for? You got it? You're trying so hard to be quiet unnecessarily because I've already drawn great attention to your being here.
Get over there. I was trying really hard.
What are you going for, by the way, Chief?
Notebook, a journal.
Ah, the old journal. It is NaNoWriMo this month. National Novel Writing Month. I know I can't use my words. Colleen is participating. You doing good?
I'm ahead of my goal.
You're ahead of your
I'm at
goal.
33,000 words.
33,000 words so far this month towards a new novel. Oh, Julius Dembski and Chris Collins both say hello.
Hi.
There you go.
I know the hand was visible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Just your hand over the top of your chair. It was pretty good. You're doing well.
I've only got my MacBook Pro right now, and it isn't exactly new. Can't upgrade for another 2 years. Yeah, not great for gaming, but
no. You had an old Dell. I'm on a Dell still, but I had like an old Dell that was basically like a souped up word processor, and I was like, can I like live stream from this? And the guy was like, yeah, totally. And then I had it for like 8 years. Then I needed to upgrade. So here we are. This one's pretty good. I don't use it to its full potential. I have like Iron Harvest on here, which if you guys know what Iron Harvest is, it's like a diesel punk, like, I don't know what I want to call it, like a it's like a diesel punk third person strategy almost. So like you know, but it's set in like World War II-ish era. So like diesel punk mechs in World War II, strategy based with like buildings and like infantry and like all this crazy shit. Yeah, Iron Harvest. And it's available on Xbox Series X, and I believe probably PS5. You can probably get it. I think it's been on PlayStation for a while, actually.
I knew it would happen.
Fucking nerd. Fuck it. I got enough of that foam anyways, honestly. Colleen gets this like egg crate foam in her like Ipsy makeup delivery. She does like this subscription makeup delivery thing for so she gets this egg crate foam in it every month or whatever she orders it or gets it. And then usually I take it because I can use it for various things for model making and packing and whatnot. So our cat also loves our one cat Yumio also loves them. And excuse me. So I came home and Colleen had one sitting out on top of Chris Collins' package that I have to mail on Saturday. And it was sitting out on that. And so I didn't pick it up or whatever, 'cause I'm busy, whatever, dinner and stuff. Night goes by, and then I'm in here doing the stream, and I go in there to get when I went to make the drink, and she's like, "Yeah, so I left that foam for you, and somebody took it." And then I looked like, yeah, she had like stolen it off and was like sitting on top of it, like on the floor. It's mine now, suckers. It was out in the open for 3 hours. Now it's mine.
Move your feet, lose your seat.
Exactly.
Oh man,
it's good though. She's good. She's getting old. That
Jay
cat's
Santos.
like 14.
Yeah.
What's up?
Jay Santos says Batista and Jason Momoa spent last week driving around to different studios pitching a buddy cop movie together. That's a skit that writes itself. They have a show together on Apple TV. But they're blind.
Oh yeah, it's called C.
See, yeah.
Everybody's
watched, like-
blind. Actually,
I've watched like yeah. I've watched like half of the first episode and just
I didn't.
didn't finish it.
I didn't watch it yet. I should check it out. I've been thinking about it. I'll give it a try. I don't know. You know,
I mean,
I've been known.
I saw the advertisement for the second season, and I was like,
Right.
"That looks pretty cool." Jason Momoa
Right.
and Batista fighting. Like, I'm in
That's
on
what I
that.
saw too. Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think I put it on and fell asleep. Not because it was bad or anything, but just because I was tired.
Circumstance.
Yeah, and then I just haven't picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God,
Happens.
Birdie just farted herself awake.
Dogs in general.
Yeah, my Frenchie farts and doesn't even wake up. Like, despite how horribly stinky it is, he doesn't even flinch. Like, it's like, yeah. And he sleeps basically on your head. So
He rips one and he's like, "Oh, finally, it smells good in here."
yeah. I'm gonna go when I leave this, right, and I go inside to lay down. He'll be in my bed. He'll be sleeping on my pillow, and I'll
Right.
go to move him, and he will dead weight. Like, and I mean, he's not a big dog by any means. He's only like 20 pounds, but like he won't even lift his head. He won't open his eyes. It's just like he might as well be a 20-pound bag of potatoes.
Yep, exactly.
And wherever I move him. Yeah, wherever I move him, he'll just stay there and sleep until he wakes up, crawls on top of my head to sleep, and farts. And makes these horrible, monstrous noises in your ear that make you have nightmares that you're being eaten by, you know, the whatever that character was on the ice planet of Hoth.
Oh, right on. I keep thinking of him as like Nibbler from Futurama. So I can't think of your guy as Nibbler. Oh, that's good.
Get nightmares because all of a sudden you'll like be asleep and you hear like you're like, what the hell was that?
Who's playing metal records backwards?
Yeah. Beast dog.
Right. Well, we are just over 2 hours in, so I think it's about time that we call it a night on this workbench.
Yeah.
Talked a little bit about what we did, and that was a plus for a change. It was a nice hangout tonight, guys. I had a really great time. Straight off. Thanks everyone for showing up, hanging out in the chat. It's been a pleasure. And Paul, of course, thank you for joining me as well.
Yeah,
as always.
This is our next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so
oh yeah, we're not going to be streaming the next Thursday.
yeah, we should see you guys hopefully on Tuesday, and Saturday is Critical Builds. So
yeah,
sure
coming up,
you
and
tune
then
into that.
remember that tonight at midnight Central or right around there, the new Built Sideways podcast gets released. So check that out. Episode 9 on hermits and celebrities and fuck, I can't remember the other thing. We talked about it at the beginning. So watch the show. If you've rated it this far already, you already watched it. So there we are. And thank you guys again. I'll talk to y'all next time. I'm fucking